Hey guys, assalamu alaikum and a pleasant good night to everyone. Welcome to a special edition of Over Extra Cover by the Imam. The Imam is here to address and we'll be discussing the West Indies T20 World Cup squad that is going to the World Cup in India and Sri Lanka. So yeah guys, assalamu alaikum and a pleasant good night to everyone. Hope everyone is fine and doing well. Alright, there's a brother here, Aki, and I'm here to discuss with you obviously the squad that the West Indies has announced for the upcoming ICC Men's T20 World Cup that will be coming up very shortly in the month of February. Right, so let me hear your thoughts. Let us get some interactions, comments. Let me hear what you have to say about this team, because there is a lot of discussion going around in the region regarding the team, if it is a good team, balance, who should be in, who should be out. So that is what we are here to do. Alright, so the Imam is in the house, and we will be talking about this West Indies T20 World Cup squad. Alright, so again, pleasant good night and welcome, and let us roll the ball. Let us start by discussing this team. Alright, so we are Guyanese and West Indians, and we are all proud of our cricket. It is a rich heritage that we have, and this is something that most of us, we are passionate about. Alright, so as you can see, your brother is still here. Alright, and it's a passion. It's something that we can't really separate from, even though sometimes the result of the team and the performance, sometimes it makes us sick and tired, but nevertheless, at the end of the day, we are very passionate fans, and those who are locked onto the game. So let us go straight into the World Cup team. Alright, so the squad has been released a few days ago, and it will be captained by Barbadian Shea Hope. Alright, and 15 members in this team. So the team reads: Shea Hope is the captain, Johnson Charles, Ruston Chase, Machu Ford, Shemron Hetimaya, Jason Holder, Akil Hussain, Shamar Joseph, Brandon King, Godakesh Moti, Rovman Powell, Shorfin Rutherford, Quintin Sampson, Jaden Seals, and Romario Shepard. So this is the team that will be going to the World Cup. That is the men's T20 World Cup. So right, I'm seeing my good brother from Trinidad, former teammate at Monroe Road, Corn. Good night, Aki, how things? And he is saying the team is pressure. Another teammate, Keston Ross. Good to see my old teammates locked in. Alright, I really enjoyed playing you guys, and good to see you guys here. Anyway, so Corn is saying Charles should retire. Now that is a selection that most people, they are surprised about, the selection of Johnson Charles. So I would give my take on this team, and then I'll hear from you. So I think it is not a bad team, all right, based on the players that we have available. I think it is not a bad team, and we'll analyze this team and see who should be in, who should be out. So for me, the team is not a bad team. All right, I think it is a reasonable team. It one and two selections are questionable. The main selection here is Johnson Charles. All right, the 37-year-old Johnson Charles. All right, and most people are saying he should not be in the team and he should retire, as Korn is saying he should retire. And what happened to Evan? All right, so I would prefer Evan Lewis over Johnson Charles in the opening slot. Reason being is that Johnson Charles is averaging about 22 with a strike rate about 129 going, let's say 130. And he has not been firing, and he has been given numerous chances. All right, so I would prefer Evan Lewis and over Johnson Charles. But let us look at it from of recent. Evan has been in and out of the team, going through a lot of injury. All right, and in the recent tour of Afghanistan, he was given the opportunity to open the batting, and he didn't perform. So I think that was one of the main factor why Charles was given a nod over him. And together with that, Charles is a wicket keeper. All right, and then he's been around for a while, and he also got pals with the coach and the head selector Darren Sammy. All right, so obviously, Evan not firing in and out of the team. All right, Sammy would definitely go for Charles. All right, so I think that is where Johnson Charles has been given the nod over Evan Lewis, but I would have preferred Evan Lewis over Johnson Charles because of a better strike rate average. Right, he is scoring more runs than any of the openers of recent. All right, so his strike rate is about 150, averaging almost 30 and over 1,700 runs in T20 cricket. All right, but I think of recent performance, especially in the Afghanistan series, there's where he fell off the radar. Another contention was Kyle Mayers. As Korn is saying, Kyle Mayers, right? Yes, that is for me that is a good he's a good contention. But you see, the thing is, of recent, especially in New Zealand, and then with the Afghanistan series and this South African series, he was not considered. All right, and it is difficult to bring in someone who is not within the squad of recent. All right, so Kyle Mayers would have been a good option also, but they were not considered. And based on how things are going right now with West Indies cricket, all right, favoritism, countryman for countryman, and these kind of petty things, definitely Johnson Charles, he will be given the nod. All right, so that is the most talk about selection, Johnson Charles. All right, I don't think anyone have a problem with Brandon King because he has been there, in the team, and now he has been drafted into the test team and he's been given captaincy responsibility and so on. All right, so Brandon King is basically someone who we expect should be in the team. All right. There's also the discussion of Ruston Chase. What is Ruston Chase doing in the team? All right. Again, let us look at how things went recent. Ruston Chase he's favored by the coach Darren Sammy, St. Lucian Kings connection. He's been elevated to test captaincy, brought out of basically retirement from the test team, placed into the role of captain, and basically he is back in the setup. All right, and Ruston Chase offer a little bit of all-round skills, batting in the middle, off spin. All right, so that is another selection that some people have an issue with. But then who would you replace Ruston Chase with? For me, right, I would have gone with Kevin Sinclair. But you see, the thing is, he was not included even in the recent series. Nepal, Bangladesh, New Zealand, even Afghanistan. All right? So that is the thing. Darren Sammy, he was not looking at these guys. Kevin Sinclair, Kyle Mayers, and these players, he wasn't looking in their direction. All right? So for me, I would have opted for a Kevin Sinclair in the team. You either replace Chase with Kevin Sinclair, or include him in the team. But then he was not part of the setup of recent, which for me is a bit questionable, especially when that young team went to Nepal. They could have given him an opportunity there. All right. So Ruston Chase also, for me, it can be a give and take in the team. All right. So these two selections, Ruston Chase and Johnson Charles, are the two most talked about selection. All right. And this is my little take and my view on these two selection. All right. The connection of Ruston Chase and Darren Sammy, and the connection of Johnson Charles and Darren Sammy, it goes a very long way, and that plays an important part in guys getting selection nowadays. All right, so Johnson Charles and Ruston Chase, all right, questionable selections. However, they have been given the nod. All right, and I guess you guys can agree with me on that. All right, or you can understand where I'm coming from. All right, that is true. That is true. Corn, there are a lot of favoritism in the board, and people are not making the team based on performance sometimes, because they are friends with someone, or because they are from a country or an island. All right, so that is something that is very sad and is unfortunate. But again, it has been happening over the years. This favoritism and people giving opportunities after opportunities. All right, Johnson Charles is one of those, given a lot of opportunities. Even Ruston Chase also. All right, now these guys, they are part of the test team. All right, basically playing little or no red ball cricket, and they're in the test team, captain in the team, etc. All right, so I don't know if this will end. All right, if it will ever end. All right. So Fahim is commenting. Let's see what Fahim is saying. Our brother Fahim, assalamu alaikum. He's saying Charles plays like he's unfit. All right. Well, he's 37 years of age. He's never known to be one of the fittest in the park. All right. But he has to come good, because he's been given another opportunity at a crucial stage in his career. All right. On the world stage, at the World Cup. All right. So Charles needs to come good, and he needs to back up his selection. All right. So let's see what's gonna happen with him there. All right. The other notable inclusion in the team is that of the newcomer Quinton Sampson, who was given his force call up in the Afghanistan series that finished recent, and he had a good force match. The two other games he didn't perform, and a good CPL and even Breakout League Caribbean T20. All right. He is in the team. He is in the squad. All right. As maybe as an X factor. All right. I don't know the role of Quinton Sampson, because in those games against Afghanistan, we have seen him coming lower in the order. All right. But for the Guyana Amazon Warriors, he opened the batting throughout the CPL. All right. So I don't know if Sammy is planning to open with Quinton Sampson, because that has not been the case so far in the games against Afghanistan. All right. That has not been the case so far against that has not been the case so far in the games with Afghanistan. All right. And then we have seen also in this force T20 against South Africa that is currently going on, Quinton Sampson is not in the team. So I do not know what role Sammy is looking to put Sampson in. For me, his selection is 50-50. I don't have a problem he's in the team, but for me, I would have opted for another all-rounder, all right? A spinning all-rounder in a guy like Kevin Sinclair, all right? But again, as I've said, he is not in the setup of recent, all right? So it would have been, basically difficult to just come and draft him into the team just before the World Cup, and he's not really playing much cricket. All right. So Sampson for me is 50-50. His role has to be defined properly. If he's going to come in low in the order and try to score, or is he going to be in the top opening? All right. So that is another selection that we can debate over. All right. You have also the likes of Alzari Joseph, but Alzari Joseph has not been playing cricket of recent, and it has been said that he is injured. All right, so he is out of contention. Shamar Springer, who recently played against Afghanistan, and he took a hat trick in that last game. Some they are saying he should have been included in the team. All right, so that is also a selection spot that we can debate over. But then again, you have to understand this World Cup is being played in India and Sri Lanka. All right, India and Sri Lanka, and we know the conditions there are mostly the wickets are flat and low, spin friendly. All right, and in the team already there's Jaden Seals, Shamar Joseph, Romario Shepard, Jason Holder. These are four seamers. All right, for me, a little bit too. It is too much for those conditions. Either Jaden Seals or Shamar Joseph, maybe they could have been, swapped, right, again for an off-spinning all-rounder or a spinner who can bat a little bit. But who is that choice, right? You have youngsters, the likes of this guy recently had a good CPL, Bidesi from Trinidad, and likewise also Gully. But again, not much exposure at the international level. All right, we see some good spark from young Bidesi. But I thought they would have probably continued with him a little bit more, but he only played in that Nepal series, and that was it. Gully was not given any opportunity. All right, so that is a problem. Who are you going to replace these guys with? All right, So if you include a Springer, then who would you drop? Would you drop Samson? Then what are you going to do with all those seamers in those conditions that are spin friendly and it is low and slow, those wickets? All right, and then you have to look at the balance of the team. All right, you remember in the middle order you have Shea Hoop, Ruston Chase, Hetty Meyer, you have Sharfin Rutherford, and you have Rothman Powell. Those are 5 batsmen, and most likely all of them will play. Those 5 guys will play. All right, and then you have the 2 openers, Johnson Charles and Brandon King, and you have your all-rounders. You have Jason Hole, you have Romario Shepherd. All right, and you have your 2 spinners, Moti and Akil. So how are you going to really put together a final 11 here? All right, so it is difficult. All right, another selection some people they were calling for is Amir Django from Trinidad. All right, he was there in most of the recent series, even there in Afghanistan series. Before that, he was in Nepal. He played against Bangladesh. All right, but let us be frank and be real, right? I don't think Sammy would want him in this T20 squad. All right, when Johnson Charles has been favored. All right, Sammy would not want Amir Django in that team. It means that he would have to drop Johnson Charles, which I don't think he will do anytime over Amir Django. All right, but let us see what will happen after this World Cup. I guess this will be the last World Cup and the last series for some guys, especially Charles. I think after this he should just go. Right, he should count his lucky stars, and after this World Cup, call quits. All right, so Corn is saying Amir Django for Charles, right, which is reasonable. But again, look at it from this angle, right? Johnson Charles has been around for a number of years. I think he was part of those 2 winning World Cup team. He is very successful at the CPL. All right, and he's a good friend of Darren Sammy and a fellow St. Lucian. So it will be difficult for Django to come in this team, knowing that Charles is there, Shea Hope is there. He's the keeper. He would definitely take the gloves. Charles will be the backup keeper if needed. All right, but I think Amir would get his chances, as the series go by. All right, definitely he's a good talent, and he's one for the future. All right, so that's basically it. The other selections, they are pretty much straightforward. All right. We all know the capabilities of Jason Holder, Romario Shepherd, Moti, and Akil will be very key in those spin-friendly conditions. All right. So all in all, for me, the team is not a bad team. It's just these 2 selections here, Ruston Chase and Johnson Charles. But I can understand why they are selected and why they have been given the nod over other players. Charles over Evan, and or even over Django, and Chase also being included in that squad. All right, there are some other players who are part of recent tour, like Alec Anthony's. I would not go for him in a World Cup team. And for me, Anthony should not be playing T20 at this point in time. He should concentrate more on Test cricket and one internationals. All right. Then he had this youngster, I think, Ogist, another St. Lucian, I think. He played in some of those games, Nepal and Bangladesh. Good talent, but again, I don't see him making this World Cup team. I heard he's also injured. All right. those are the players basically who were given the nod. Kyle Mayers, he was there in that tour of Nepal and Bangladesh also. All right. I think he would have been a very strong contention for the opening slot. But again, you see Johnson Charles is there. All right. And he edged out Evan. He edged out Charles. All right. But I think if Evan would have done well in that Afghanistan series, I think he would have forced his way into this team. All right. But him failing in those few games, it made it easy for Darren Sammy to say, you know what, we're going to go with Johnson Charles. All right, so Sammy work was made easy when Evan failed in those games against Afghanistan. So right away, Charles was the go-to man. All right. So Fahim is saying, Sammy is changing the team too much, and that is a fact. Darren Sammy is not, decisive. He is not someone who, he looks at the future. Today for tomorrow, this game for that game, this series for the next series. All right, Darren Sammy needs to focus on a few players and give them the opportunity to go out there. That is why I was saying, at least for this Afghanistan series, the team should have been named and the World Cup squad should have played from this Afghanistan series. At least. Alright? Let them come together as a unit and identify your players and their roles and give them the opportunity. Alright? But he's playing around too much. Too much to chop in and change, and he can't build a team like that. You're not giving players confidence. And then you're also not allowing them, to go out and express themselves. And we all know how the game goes. You fail today, tomorrow you shine. You have some good scores and you fail. That's how the game goes. All right. Casey Carty also, he was, Corny saying Casey Carty was part of this team. Yes. Again, I don't see him as a T20 player. His record is him not proven so good. He's a good ODI player. All right, so keep these youngsters, guys like Carty, Anthony's, and so on, keep them more for the longer format. Give them the opportunity to express themselves in Test cricket, one-day cricket, and when they develop and they become more formidable, then you can run them in the T20 squad. All right, Fazil Baksh is saying Samson will open the batting. I don't know because we have not seen him doing that in the 3 games against Afghanistan, and in this series against South Africa, he has been dropped for the first game. All right. So if he was pinpointed for an opening slot, I think at least 1 or 2 of those games he should have been given the opportunity. All right. And again, I don't see him coming down the order. All right. When you have guys like, you have Rahman Powell, you have Jason Hooler, you have Romario Shepherd. Even Akil can hit the ball and Moti can hit the ball. So where are you going to put Samson? Then you have in the middle order, you have Hetty Maya, you have Shea Hope, you have Rutherford. All right, Brandon King will be your main opener. All right, Johnson Charles, I think they would start with him, but then where do you fit Samson in? All right, so I don't understand Darren Sammy, his logics and his tactics going in to this World Cup. All right, and there are only how many games remaining? 2 more games in the South Africa series, and that's it. You cannot wait until you reach to the World Cup, and then you're going to experiment, and then you're going to hope that this one will play in this position, and this one will bat here or bowl here, or this will be your team. No, this is supposed to be done already, long before. You understand? These games are supposed to be, like basically practice games. All right? I'm not saying that you're not going out there to win. All right? But you're looking at the bigger picture, a World Cup. All right? And West Indies, they have a good chance. T20 is their game, right? Even though they have been taking licks over the past few series. All right. Still, T20 is our most strongest format. All right, and the team is not a bad team. All right, the team is not a bad team. I don't see this team as a bad team. All right. Walaikum salam, Saeed. Good to see you. Alhamdulillah, everything is okay. All right, all those are on the live and they are sending their salams. Walaikum assalam, and to my other colleagues, special good night. All right, so we're here discussing the World Cup team, West Indies World Cup squad to the T20 World Cup. All right, and so far we have some very good interaction. All right, you guys can give your thoughts. We'll be here for the next few minutes. All right. So Fazil is saying we need Hope to bat a 3, and King will open the batting. Well, I think that is understood. Brandon King will be one of the openers. Shai Hope will bat a number 3. All right. Then you have Hetimaya, Rutherford. All right. We have seen something strange in this last T20 game against South Africa. Matthew Ford was elevated up the order. Matthew Ford, basically a bowler who can bat a little bit. He was elevated to, I think, number 3 or number 4. What is he doing there? What is Sammy trying? You see, these are the things that are baffling. What Matthew Ford is doing up the order. To do what? Right? When you have a guy like Romario Shepherd and you send in Matthew Ford. And look what happened in this last game. West Indies sent in Matthew Ford. They sent in Ruston Chase. They sent in Jason Holder. Right? Before Romario Shepherd. Romario Shepherd came in for 1 ball. West Indies are not using this guy properly. And even Amazon Warriors too. They're not using this guy properly. This guy is the most powerful hitter in your team. And he has done this consistently throughout the world, international and league cricket. And they're still not batting this guy properly. What are you sending Matthew Ford to that number 3? Huh? So I don't understand Sammy thinking process. All right? So we are hoping that this team will come good. But for me, I'm not seeing any proper planning on behalf of the coach, because he's the boss. Darren Sammy is the boss. He's a head coach and he's a lead selector. And he basically calls the shot. Alright, so for me, I'm not seeing anything special from him. But as a West Indian, as a fan, as a cricketer myself, you know, I wish this team all the best and I hope that they can go far in the tournament. One of the good things is that they have a very easy group. But let us not get carried away. West Indies can lose to any team. So that group, there's Italy, and then Bangladesh is out. I think Scotland replaced them. All right, that is another discussion for another time. All right, so England and West Indies, most likely, they would go through. All right, but again, Scotland whipped West Indies in the past. All right, so, and Italy, we can't write them out, right? Because West Indies is known to lose to the as you say, the underdogs or the minnows. All right. So even though the group is a very easy group, all right, and I see them going on to the next stage. You know, you still have to, you know, hope and wish for the best, because these guys can really go out there and do silly things. I'd like to welcome my brother Shazim, my good brother from Trinidad. All right, Shazim, welcome. Hope everything is good. All right, so yeah, guys. So this is basically my take on this team. All right, I don't see this team as a poor team. It's a reasonable, workable team. All right, and guys like Johnson Charles, Ruston Chase, I think, you know, they need to come good. All right, they need to come good, and they need to back their selection. All right, because fans and commentators and cricketing pundits, they are basically calling for them not to be in the team, especially Mr. Johnson Charles. All right, many are saying that he should not be in the team. All right, but there's nothing we can do about that. He's there already. All right, and most likely he would be the opener to partner Brandon King. All right, so he's there already. Ruston Chase is already in the team. All right, most likely he would be that off spinning all rounder. All right, so there's nothing we can do, guys. All right, we just have to hope for the best, and these guys can, go out and play cricket. They can go out and play cricket. That's all you want to see them doing. All right, Shamir, welcome. Assalamu alaikum. It is not an easy group. Scotland will beat West Indies. Oh, subhanallah. So Shamir is saying Scotland will beat West Indies, right? I mean, listen, it happened already. I can't say no, I can't say yes, right? But I will hope West Indies will beat these two weaker teams, Italy and Scotland. All right, and I think West Indies can beat England also. All right, I think West Indies can beat England, but all of these guys who are champions in bush leagues, these guys, look at Rutherford, for example. He dominated the SA T20, and as soon as you give him that maroon jersey, it's a different story. All right, so these guys, they need to come good. One good thing for West Indies fans, all right, especially in the absence of Nicky P, Nicholas Pooran, Shimron Hettimaya is looking good. All right, you have seen him in the Afghanistan series, had some good knock, and then in this first game against South Africa, he came good. So that is a good thing. Hettimaya, he is looking decent. But we really need a guy like him to fire, especially in the absence of Nicholas Pooran. Hettimaya needs to step up, and he need to shoulder this middle order, and he need to take some responsibility. It is time Hettimaya takes some responsibility. So we are seeing some good signs from him. All right, so that is a good thing. Rutherford, I mean, if he clicks, well then it can be a different ball game, right? These guys are capable, right? It's just that we need them to click and to fire when it matters. All right, so Shamid is saying Scotland will beat West Indies. It happened before, so I don't know, if it's gonna happen again. Fazil is very optimistic. West Indies winning this World Cup. So as a Muslim, you say Inshallah. All right, they have done it twice before, right? And we can be the only team to win it 3 times. All right, so it is not far-fetched, guys. I see Fazil sent a team here. Let me see what's going on. So Fazil Baksh is saying King, Samson, Hope, Chase, Rutherford, Hettimaya, Shepherd, Hussein, Moti, Jaden Seals, and Shamar Joseph. Good 11. Good, very good 11. But in this 11, you are dropping Rovman Powell, all right, and you are also dropping Jason Holder, all right. You're making a big call here, Fazil. You're leaving out Jason Holder and Rovman Powell in the team, all right. So let us see what's gonna happen, all right. Shamid is supporting Afghanistan. I mean, Afghanistan, their T20 cricket is of a different level. All right, their players, they are very experienced, and their players can perform. All of their players, from number 1 to number 11. And they're also seasoned players. Afghanistan is not a team to count out. So Shamid, who knows? Afghanistan can come good. All right. Fazil is saying Pakistan and West Indies play in the final. Listen, Pakistan and West Indies are the two most, these two teams, right? On their day, they can come good, and likewise, anybody can beat them. All right? So, there are two similar teams. They have talent. Raw talent is there. Experience is there. But again, sometimes they lack the mental aspect of the game. They don't think the game, and they don't fight like the Australia team, New Zealand team. These guys will fight, right? They will snatch a game from you. West Indies and Pakistan, they don't have that skill within them. But when you speak about talent and you speak about good players, both teams they are filled with talent and good players. All right. So Shazim is saying that team they have need to come good. Well, we are all hoping that this team will come good. All right, we're hoping that this team will come good. All right, guys. So I think basically we will all agree that the team is a decent team. All right. I mean, I would like to see Nicholas Puran in his team, even Andrew Russell. I think these guys retired a little too early. All right. And even when Puran was given that call to come back in the team, he should have, at least for the World Cup. Even though I'm not in agreement also in Cricket West Indies reaching out to him because, he retired and he retired before the World Cup. I think he could have considered this a bit more and at least give it a shot. Just a few months. Russell also retired a few months before the World Cup. All right? They could have, given us, a few more games and then call it. But then again, it's already happened. All right? And we can't do anything about it. We need to work with the players that we have. So all in all, for me, it is a decent team. And those players who are given, some opportunities like Jonathan Charles, Ruston Chase, even a Quinton Sampson. All right, they need to grab these opportunities with both hands and come good. All right, and we're hoping that those seasoned players like Hetty Meyer, Rutherford, Rahman Powell, even Jason Hole, these guys can come good, right? As long as a few of them they come good, I think we will have a good chance of winning this World Cup. Also, our bowling needs to be on spot. All right, our bowling will be challenged. All right, so the spinners, they need to have their line and lengths and they need to be economical. All right, you cannot be leaking runs because those are spinning conditions. So if your spinners are leaking runs, then that will be a problem. All right. So the combination of the team, that is the final 11, would be very key, right? Because you have some all-rounders, you have some spinners. How are you going to distribute them? Then you have some pacers, all right? Some seamers. For me, I think we have gone with at least one or two seamers more, and sometimes maybe one or two all-rounders also. But then again, I guess they're looking at if failures or injury, one can come in for the other. But nevertheless, is a decent team. However, you select the 11, I think it would be a formidable team. But I think for the first two games, you need to select a proper 11, your best 11, looking at conditions, looking at form, and looking at your opponent. All right. Shamid is in Russell limping. Yeah, I mean his fitness is getting his fitness level is going down. But I think Russell and these guys, they had the opportunity to play for West Indies whenever they want. All right, so they could have basically played any series, relax here, play here, rest here. You know, they had that leverage. All right, but nevertheless, they all are retired. Nicholas Hafiz, welcome, my brother. The team, what Samson and Chase and Charles doing there? All right, okay. So you are saying Samson, Chase, and Charles should not have been in the team, right? Okay, let me hear quickly, fast. Tell me who you want to replace these three guys, Samson, Chase, and Charles. Let me hear who would have been your replacement. All right, or in place of these three players. Quickly, fast. I think I've been here for a while now, and I need to go shortly. All right, so quickly, Hafiz, let me hear your players who you're gonna replace. All right, you're gonna replace Samson, Chase, and Charles with who? Quickly, fast. Let me hear you. Let me hear your three players there. All right. So as I said in the beginning, these three players that Hafiz mentioned here, Nicholas, you know, they 50-50, you know, they're thereabout. All right. Rajin, my good friend, old teammate. Welcome. All right. So he's saying Rutherford don't need to be in the team. If he fails in these games here in South Africa, all right, then I would support you. All right, but I think if he is scoring runs, which he is showing so far in the leagues, but for West Indies of recent, you know, that maroon jersey, like, it's a problem. I don't know if you can give him a different color with the West Indies badge and logo and so on, but not the maroon color, right? Because, you know, apparently he's doing well in other jerseys other than West Indies maroon jersey. All right. So Rajan is saying Rutherford don't need to be in the team. Let's see what's gonna happen. All right. If definitely he is not performing, I think they may not start with him. All right. If he's failing in these South African games, then they would. I don't think they would start with him. All right. Yes, Nicholas, Hafiz, Django, Laws, and Spring. I think this youngster Laws is playing with the if that's his name, I'm saying it correctly. He's playing with the under 19 team at the moment in the World Cup. I don't think you can just throw him into the senior side in a World Cup just like that. But definitely he's a prospect for the future. That young leggy. All right. Django and Springer. We spoke about these two. All right. Darren Sammy would not select Amir Django over Johnson Charles. And Shamar Springer is not in the team because you have a truckload of fast bowlers. You have Jason Hole, you have Shamar Joseph, you have Romari Shepard, and you have Jaden Seals. These are 4 fast bowlers. And if you want to throw in the mix, Ravan Paul is a medium pacer, Sharfin Rutherford is a medium pacer. Alright? They are seamers, medium pacers, slow medium, however you want to call them. So we want to share between them a few overs. There's no need for Shamar Springer. And Darren Sammy did not have Shamar Springer there in that setup. He just played him because players were not available for selection. So his hat trick in that last game, that could not have, give him that opportunity to go into the team. So I don't think that would have been any main contention in the squad. Atir, good to see you, Atir. I would have preferred Pollard over Russell. That's, that's a good call, right? Paulie has been performing in the leagues even at his age, all right? I mean, why they didn't reach out to him? If you can reach out to Puran, you're reaching out to Puran, why not reach out to Pollard for the World Cup, right? So Atir, I mean, that makes sense, all right? And he's very good in spinning conditions against spinners, all right? So, I don't know why they didn't reach out to him, but that could have been an option because you already gone down the road of reaching out to Nicholas Puran, who is retired. So why not contact Kyron Pollard? All right? But I don't think Sammy and Pollard and these guys, they get along well of recent. All right? So he wouldn't go in that direction. All right? Rajan is saying Spring is a good hitter of the ball as well. And he should be picked over Holder. Now, you see, that's the thing. All right? Jason Holder is there. Are they going to play Shamar Springer in front of a Jason Holder? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right? So, what I'm saying, that this World Cup, all right, is a World Cup that will define many of these guys' career. Johnson Charles is one, maybe a Jason Holder. All right? These guys, their career will be defined from this World Cup here. So they need to come good. All right? But you see again, there are only 15 players they can select. All right? So that's the thing. All right? So, but definitely moving forward, I think these guys would be in contention. All right? Shamar Springer and these other guys, Django and so on, they would be in contention. I don't know what's going on with Evan at this point because I've seen some post. They have said that he is hinting to retirement. I don't know what's going on, but I think he has more cricket in him. All right, he definitely can play for a few more years. I mean, if he's dropped, I think he should come back stronger. All right, I think Evan should not throw in the towel as yet. All right, definitely a gun player, and I think he should take it with a pinch of salt. All right, and go back into the nets and go back into the leagues. All right, the season has started in Trinidad. Go back there and get into a groove. All right, and see to play in one or two leagues. And definitely CPL is a league that he will play in, and come back strong. So I don't think Evan should go down that road of retirement because he was not considered for this World Cup. All right. So if he is listening or this reaches him, I think you should consider that decision, my brother. All right, and don't throw in the towel. You have a lot to offer, and you're still young. All right. So guys are making their contribution. Hafiz is saying Spring is a batting all-rounder. Django is a keeper. He's a keeper also. Yes, we know that. You have Shea Hope, you have Johnson Charles. All right. I'm thinking that this is definitely the last series for Johnson Charles. So Django will get his chance. Likewise, Springer will also get his chance. Holder doesn't have longer to play. And then after this World Cup, many of them they would throw West Indies cricket under the bus, and they will not available. They will not be available. They would go to these bush leagues. So the door is open again for these youngsters. All right, Asif. The T20 World Cup is a few games, and Sammy will make the mistake in not picking the best 11, and that's well said. All right, 2 or 3 games, and that's it. Right? So this is what I'm saying. Darren Sammy is supposed to be working with the World Cup team from since the tour of Afghanistan. All right, not wait until the last minute. All right. Fahim is saying team management reached out to the best players for the big stage. They want to win, but like Sammy treating the World Cup like another series. I don't know, man. Darren Sammy, his way of thinking, all right, his strategy, his planning, for me is way off. All right, and I don't see him, being successful with this type of mentality. Right? In the past, he has failed. Okay, he's going to a World Cup. We'll back him. We'll support him. But with this mentality, this mindset, what we are seeing from him, right, is a lot of negativity. He's fishing around and he is here and there. You understand? So that is not a good man of going into a World Cup. All right. So I don't know how he's gonna change this, because this seems to be his style and his method. All right, Muli, welcome. Muli is on the chat. Muli is saying how they are taking Johnson, Charles, and Ruston Cheese. Well, that was the discussion earlier, my brother. All right, these were the two names that we singled out, and we spoke about them in detail. All right, but they are there, and we just hope that they'll have to come good. All right, most likely Charles will be playing his last series. All right, I don't know if he's gonna be given that opportunity by his good friend Darren Sammy to continue playing. All right, so he should be playing his last series. Ross Sanchez has another throw of the dice. Again, he needs to step up. Roshan, my brother Roshan, looking at some of the players making the West Indies team, tell us what is the future of West Indies cricket? Well, that's a good question. All right. Again, with how things are going right now, the future looks very bleak. All right. So Darren Sammy, as I said earlier, he doesn't have a plan, and he's not working towards anything, by setting targets and goals. He's playing today for tomorrow, today game for tomorrow game, this series for next series. Nothing properly and strategic from him. So Roshan, we have to wait and see what is the future for West Indies cricket. All right. Yeah, Muli. Everyone is seeing this. Darren Sammy rewarding his countrymen. All right. St. Lucian Kings players. Once a part of the franchise, and you're from St. Lucia or from the islands around there, and this is based on what is happening, right? We're not casting allegations or we're not attacking anyone. It's clear that, there are certain players being favored and there are certain players given, more opportunities than others. All right? And this is something very sad. Select the team based on performance, based on talent, based, on a direction. All right? So that's why a lot of people are saying Charles should not be in this team. All right? But if you understand the dynamics of West Indies cricket, all right, Johnson Charles will be the first man named down there. All right. Yeah, the last World Cup, he was part of the team, but again, he has people who has his back. All right. And I said it earlier. Evan failing in these Afghanistan games made it easy for Darren Sammy. Had Evan scored heavily in these games that gone by there, then it would have put pressure on Darren Sammy. All right, so him failing made it easy for Sammy to select Charles. All right, right. I don't understand, Atir, also why he was not play. Quentin Sampson was not given a game against South Africa in the first game. Because why? You selected him for the World Cup. And he played 3 games against Afghanistan. And in the first game against South Africa, you're going to drop him. Then what are you saying? What are you telling us? You don't have no clarity with this guy. Because you played him in those games in the back end. He was sent in to hit the ball. All right. People are saying he will open the baton, but he's not been given a chance to do so. All right. So I don't understand what's going on. All right. All right, guys are making their contribution. I'm gonna browse them through very quickly. Asif is saying, Shorefin only performs in the league, nothing for West Indies, and this is a story of most West Indies cricketers. When is league cricket, Bush League, and these, T10 leagues and so on that I don't really consider as any proper cricket. These guys, they go out and they blaze bowling, all right? And you just put on that maroon jersey on them, and that's it. All right? Siraj Isat, Hafiz, Jangu. Yeah, well, we spoke about that. We spoke about him before. All right? In place of maybe a Ruston Chase or even a Johnson Charles. But, Sammy would never select Amir Jangu, especially in a T20 team, when there's Johnson Charles and there's Ruston Chase. Never Sammy would do that. Come on, so you need to understand the dynamics of how these guys they operate and how West Indies cricket, is running. Okay? Dinesh, my good friend Dinesh, he's saying the bowling has some issue, and that is a problem. All right, the bowling attack, there not just some issues. There are a lot of issues there, and we are seeing this from the very first game against South Africa. This game against South Africa, they were blown apart. Just imagine South Africa chased down 174 in 70.5 overs and 1 wicket. And basically the best bowling we had there. Moti didn't play the game, but you had Akil, you had Matthew Ford, Jason Holder, Shepard, Ruston Chase, Jaden Seals. All of these are frontline bowlers, and South Africa went through them like nothing. So the bowling definitely needs to click. All right, so 175 is a decent score to defend. At least not to be run down like that, 1 wicket, and before the 18th over. No, push it to the 19th over and let them struggle 5, 6, 7 wickets. All right. Muli is saying, I hope Rutherford gets the opportunity to bat up the order, and hopefully he takes the opportunities. I don't know how Sammy going to bat him in that middle order. All right, but I think he can bat higher rather than 6 and 7. I think he can bat high in the order. All right. So let us see what happens there. Dennis Ligue, by my good friend Dennis Ligue, former teammate. Both Moti and Hussein have to play together. Well, in those conditions, yes. But in South Africa, remember South Africa is the wickets are a little bit bouncy, pacey. So I don't know if that was the reason for them not playing in that first game. But I'm saying, again, this is your team going to the World Cup. You need to fine-tune your combinations. So if you're gonna drop a guy today and play him tomorrow, then that don't make any sense. All right. Moti has been struggling, but again, he needs to be given game time. Moti needs to be given game time. All right. You're dropping him one game, playing in the next game, dropping one series, playing in the next series. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't augurs well for any cricketer. The confidence and they being part of a team that needs them. You don't do good to their confidence. All right. So yes, he's been struggling. All right, but
we all know that he has done, reasonably well for West Indies and even Guyana in the CPL. All right, so he and Akil definitely would be key in those Indian conditions. They will be definitely key. All right, so I think we have basically touched on everything so far. There's nothing we can do anymore. The team has been out. All right, and barring injuries, there'll be no changes. So let's say somebody's injured, then maybe I've not seen any backup players. I don't know if they haven't named any, or any players are on standby. I haven't seen any so far, any standby players or backup players. All right. So I don't know in the case of injury what will happen. All right. If, let's say in this South African series, players are injured, then who would you replace them with? Because I haven't seen any standby list named. So, but barring injury, this will be the team that will be going to the World Cup, and that is the team currently playing in this South Africa series. All right, one game finished and a few remaining. All right. Akim Ogis is injured, so that's why he is not in the team. But definitely, if he was fit, he would have been there in that team, because Sami is pushing him. All right, the youngster Ogis is being pushed by Sami. So if he was fit, he would have definitely been in that team. All right. Shamid is saying Hope King, Chase as a floater, then Rutherford, Powell, Hetty, Shepard, Holder, Moti, Hussein, and Seals, my first match. That's a decent team. That is a very decent 11. All right. But the middle order needs to be sorted out. And likewise, that bowling department, you have Shamar Joseph, you have Jaden Seals. How are you going to play them? All right? Would they be playing together, or are you going to rotate them? All right? Then you have Quentin Sampson. I don't know how he's going to make this team, because if he cannot open the batting, I would not want to play him as a low order batsman. All right? So yeah. So let's see what's going to happen. All right? For me, I would have, opted for another player, maybe a Kyle Mayers, all right, even to Evan Lewis, right, and drop one of your pacers, or even a Samson, so you give more depth and more variety to your team. All right, but nevertheless, they have gone for these players. Condition for me is different, and I would have opted for more batsmen or spinners who could have been in that team, one or two. All right. Shamid is asking if Akil Hussein is a Muslim. Well, the name definitely is a Muslim name, but I'm not too sure if he is a Muslim. All right, maybe someone from Trinidad can verify this for us, if Akil Hussein is a Muslim. The name definitely is a Muslim name, but I'm not too sure if he is a Muslim by faith. All right. Anyhow, that is something for another time. Dennis is saying, Dennis Ligue, former Guyana on a 15 youth player. He is saying that Joseph, that is Shamar Joseph, in for Jaden Seal in the first match. It can go both ways. All right. So that final 11 would, for me, would be key to select. All right, and that is why these guys need to perform in this South Africa series. All right, because if they're not performing, then how are you going to select a proper 11 for that first game? All right, so let us see what's gonna happen. Again, Ligue is saying Evan should be in the team. I would support that that selection also, but I'm saying, right? I said this in the beginning. Those games against Afghanistan, he did not perform, and I think that was a decisive factor. All right, in him not gaining selection. All right, so who knows if he had scored some runs there, then he maybe would have been in the team. But nevertheless, he is not in the team. But I think in moving forward, he is a very key member of moving forward. So again, I'm saying if he is considering retirement, he should not do so. All right. Yeah, we all saw that in Instagram post that he retired on Instagram, but I don't know if he retired on the cricket field. There haven't been any follow up to that from him, at least on the media. So we are waiting to see what will happen. But for me, I will say to him, relax, take it with a pinch of salt, go back and work harder, and come back stronger, because he is still young. He has a good record. His T20 record is impeccable. All right, matching the likes of Chris Gayle or even better. All right, the guy is averaging about 30 and striking at 150 with over 1,700 runs. All right, from about 68 matches, 60 something matches. So he has a very good record in the T20 format. So I would support him to continue playing and don't retire. All right, so okay, guys. So I think that's it for now. We have been here for some time. All right, trying to keep up with some of you guys. Nevertheless, it is good having you guys and beautiful discussion. Thanks for the contributions. They're all valuable and they're all making sense. Nevertheless, let us hope that this team that was selected can come good and they can make us happy and proud. Winning the World Cup will be the ultimate thing, but we know that will be our uphill task. All right, so anyway, guys, thanks for your time, and nice to see you guys locked on to Over Extra Cover by the Imam. Definitely, inshallah, we'll have some follow up as we move on. All right, so that's all for now, guys. Take care. All right, assalamu alaikum and pleasant good night to one and all. Until we meet again, take care and all the best.